Special thank you for joining us today for CONNECTpreneur Rocket Pitch. CONNECTpreneur is a global community of 25,000 investors, CEOs, entrepreneurs, business leaders, and professional service providers from around the world. And today is our 94th CONNECTpreneur event overall over the last 12 years and our 43rd virtual CONNECTpreneur Rocket Pitch event, which is now the largest monthly investor pitch event in the world. We've had over 1,100 presenting companies, and our CONNECTpreneur investor network now totals over 4,000 accredited investors, qualified purchasers, angels, family offices, and other investors who are interested in investing in awesome deals that they can meet through our community and our events. Hopefully, you've already downloaded today's program book. If not, our team will post the link into the chat box, and then you can download accordingly. It has all the information on our presenting companies as well as our sponsors. And today we have 8 presenting companies, all terrific. After our final presenting company, we'll then open up the breakout rooms for about a half an hour or so. Each one of our 8 breakout rooms will be hosted by one of our presenting companies, and you'll be able to enter and leave whichever breakout room that you like. The purpose of the breakout rooms, remember, is for the presenting companies to go deeper with interested investors and partners. Their 4-minute pitches do not have question and answers, so reserve your questions for the breakout room. And also be sure to set up follow-up meetings if you're an investor with our management of these companies during the breakout room. You can do that. Please remember that these rooms are hosted by the presenting companies. Please conduct yourselves accordingly. And hopefully you guys will have some very productive engagement. Also, with respect to the group chat, please be respectful and tactful. You can post your LinkedIn and other contact info with a very brief introduction. Please do not overload the chat. And unless you're a presenter, we ask that you not present more than 2 or 3 times because it does get crowded. Our presenters will also be posting links to their decks and to their executive summaries in the group chat, along with any Calendly links or registration info for any follow-on meetings that they may be hosting in the coming weeks. And again, because the group chat's going to be very crowded, it'll have dozens of messages. We recommend that you download your chat transcript before you go into the breakout room. And that way you can read through them afterwards, because once you go in a breakout room, it's possible that you might lose your chat history. We're also going to do some polls today. We're going to do 3 investor polls. These are for investors only after our 3rd, 6th, and final presenter. They are confidential polls. We're not going to be sharing any poll results with the audience, only with the presenting companies. And it's solely for the benefit of our investors and our presenting companies. We're also going to do 2 sponsor polls to help generate leads and business for our sponsors who are making these events free and possible. I also want to thank our awesome CONNECTpreneur ambassadors. They've done a great job spreading the word about our events worldwide. Special thank you to our awesome prep team. And if you're interested in becoming a CONNECTpreneur ambassador, please indicate such when we do our first poll. Like I said, today we have 8 total presenters. Each presentation will be about 4 minutes. No question and answer. Please reserve your questions for the breakout rooms. And again, if you're an interested investor, please be sure to indicate that on the investor poll and stop by the breakout room of your favorite presenters. Our CONNECTpreneur community, we also have an awesome YouTube channel. We have over 700 videos of our alumni presenters, so please check it out and subscribe. We also have a free Slack channel for, we have about 4,200 business leaders on it. You can feel free to join, and the purpose of the Slack channel is just to keep the community engaged in between our events. And you can join; it's free. You can network with other members on there, share information about events or about yourselves. We will post the links to the Slack channel and the YouTube channel so you can sign up. We'll post that into the chat box. Couple of upcoming events. Our next virtual rocket pitch is August 31, so please mark your calendars now. We also have an awesome upcoming in-person event on the evening of August 3rd. That's next Thursday. That will be in Rockville, Maryland at the universities at Shady Grove. It'll feature a couple of awesome panels and at least 10 or so awesome presenting companies. We'll post registration links in the chat box throughout the event. please let us know if you're interested in sponsoring or presenting. You can reach out directly to Skylar, who's our community manager and one of the co-hosts of today's Zoom call. Finally, applications are now open for the Accelerate Investor Conference for startups to pitch at their November 1st and 2nd event in Arlington, Virginia and Washington, D.C. So check out acceleratedeals.org, and you can see the eligibility. We will be putting links into the chat box as well. So right now, why don't we go ahead and put up our first poll? This is a poll for our awesome sponsors. They make this event possible. They make this event free. So please respond if you have any interest in any of the services that they're offering, and we'll make sure you get connected to our sponsors right away. And our sponsors can be found in the poll, but I'd like to name all of them. We have Next, powered by Schulman Rogers. We have Entrepreneurs Organization, Association for Enterprise Growth, Refraction, which is the nation's capital's region's top innovation hub. And I'm broadcasting from Refraction, where our offices are. Refraction is offering a special deal for the CONNECTpreneur community if you're interested in having a presence here in the Washington, D.C. area. So please contact Esther Lee or myself. I'm happy to introduce you if you're interested. I also want to thank Truist Bank, Baltimore Angels, Keiretsu Forum, Ryan and Wetmore, the Maryland Tech Council, Startup Grind, Georgetown Entrepreneurship, Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce, Enterprise Transformation Solutions, Angels and Life Sciences Investors, and the New Jersey Angels, the Center for Advancing Innovation, FITSE, the Dingman Angels, Founder Institute, National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, the MIT Alumni Angels of Washington, D.C., and the annual Wharton D.C. Innovation Summit. Thank you guys so much for your support and sponsorship over the years. And thank you for answering the polls, and we will be sure to follow up with you accordingly. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. To introduce our presenters, our first four presenters, I'd like to introduce longtime CONNECTpreneur partner, my good friend and business partner, Mark Haas. Mark is CEO and co-founder of AEG, which is the Baltimore, Washington, D.C., and Tampa, Florida region's top alliance of elite service provider advisors. Members include some of the leading business professionals in Washington, Northern Virginia, Baltimore, and Tampa. And I'm personally proud to be an investor in and chairman of AEG. Mark is currently also in fundraise mode. So Mark, please do post your executive summary into the chat box so that any interested investors will reach out. Mark, why don't you give us a few more details about AEG? And thank you so much for your support of CONNECTpreneur.
Sure thing. Thanks, Tian, and all the CONNECTpreneur crowd. If you can imagine how hard it is to build a network of people who can help you grow and scale your business. If you're a business advisor, your clients look to you to help connect them with a full range of disciplines and skills that will solve their complex problems. If you're a CEO, it's lonely at the top, and you're really looking for trusted peers in a range of disciplines to help you grow and thrive. So that's what AEG does. We created a group of city-based exclusive communities of mid-market CEOs and the elite business advisors who serve them. These are trust-based communities, so they really provide unprecedented business development and peer-to-peer networking opportunities. So if you are a mid-market CEO or an elite business advisor or an investor, please reach out to me, and I can share a little bit more information about that. So our first presenter is going to be Anita Davidson of Creative Biotherapeutics. And if you remember the quote during the Vietnam War, we had to destroy the village to save it. That describes a lot of cancer treatments. They're kind of carpet bombing, very toxic, not very targeted. And especially for drug-resisted late-stage cancer treatment, we're really looking for something new and a different approach. And CBT has actually done that. So Anita's going to tell you a little bit more about their approach and how they're really helping to get some solutions for drug-resistant cancers.
Thank you, Mark. Creative Biotherapeutics is an emerging biotech that starts research where other therapies fail. The problem we are solving is that drug-resistant cancers are incurable, which impacts over 600,000 people each year. These are the top 10 cancers in the US last year, and these are the numbers of reoccurrence for each of these cancers. CBT is focusing on the $21 billion market of these 6 cancers with a beachhead target market of metastatic breast cancer. Our solution to this problem is CBT 300, a biologic that reverses drug resistance. When tumors develop, they place a protein on the surface called GRP78. The protein causes drug resistance and blocks the immune cells. CBT 300 removes this surface GRP78, which then allows the immune system to get to work. As the beachhead target, metastatic breast cancer has a SAM of over 43,000 women each year based on the U.S. annual death rates. And this has continued for the last 30 years, regardless of advances in medical care. Imagine this scenario. Carolyn follows up with her oncologist. Your breast cancer has returned. You have suffered through 2 rounds of chemotherapy. Immunotherapy with Keytruda has only targeted 20% of your cancers, and ADCs don't work for you. Your cancer is resistant to all other treatments. Fortunately, there is a new biologic available called CBT 300. It isn't toxic, it has a lower cost, and it works well with a small dose of chemotherapy that could increase your survival for years. What do you think? If Carolyn had that choice, it would have been yes, please. Unfortunately, she didn't, and died at the age of 49, leaving 4 young children, a husband, and a thriving music career behind. And I know this because Carolyn was my college roommate. But we hear these stories every week. And as such, CBT pushes forward. We have a very strong IP position. We've had excellent feedback from key opinion leaders, and we are ready to complete the drug scale-up and toxicity studies to go to the FDA to start clinical trials. The CBT team has the background and record and vision to succeed. We have had 4 successful startups with 3 exits, 40 publications and patents, and over 100 years in healthcare and pharma experience. We are moving CBT 300 to the market in Q2 of 2026 as a single monthly dose of $5,000 with a single injection for metastatic breast cancer, with a projected gross revenue of $130 million year 1, building on market expansion in breast and other cancers. We have raised $2.2 million to date. Our current Series A raise of $3 million is for drug scale-up, toxicity studies, and regulatory preparation for IND. We are considering a wide range of exit possibilities, including partnership and licensing with large pharma. Please consider working with us as we change the paradigm of how drug-resistant cancers are treated for the 600,000 patients each year. Thank you, and we invite you to join us in the breakout room.
Thanks, Nita. Our next presenter is Ralph Heacock of Deep Terrain. And Peter Drucker has said there's nothing worse than doing the wrong thing well. And many approaches to cybersecurity start with the technology, with very clever approaches. But if they're not helping to grow the business and protect against business continuity, then it doesn't really help. So Deep Terrain is, and Ralph is going to tell you about the complex relationships between the business functions and the actual protecting your IT assets.
Mark, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Great to be with you all. Hi, my name is Ralph Heacock. I'm the founder and CEO of Deep Terrain. The name Deep Terrain comes from taking deep learning, the cornerstone of AI, and applying it to a company's cyber terrain. We are an AI-driven, pre-breach, proactive cyber resilience software company. Our approach is so bleeding edge and groundbreaking that Gartner has yet to create a magic quadrant for what we're building. We are radically changing how businesses prevent and withstand disruption from cyber attacks. And we are here today hoping you'll join us on the journey to make businesses impervious to cyber risk. Cybersecurity should be about protecting the business, not about protecting all IT assets. Most companies today are trying to lock down all of their IT without understanding which assets are crucial to the business and therefore merit greater attention and protection. We fix that. We help companies understand and prioritize their digitally dependent business processes, the things that must happen every day for them to make money. Our technology, called Terrain AI, begins by mapping the connections between a company's business processes and IT assets to create their digital twin. Terrain AI then drills down into the relationships between business processes, data, and the IT they rely on. Unless you understand those relationships, you can never be truly cyber resilient. Our AI provides a unique understanding of those relationships, and the results are unprecedented, allowing us to pinpoint and protect critical IT assets and to forecast business disruption from a cyber attack, creating a universe of opportunity for automated cyber resilience, ensuring that businesses will continue running regardless of the state of the cyber terrain itself, and ensuring that businesses continue operating without disruption, but showing what failure to do so will cost. One key example is the Colonial Pipeline cyber incident, where we didn't have gas on the East Coast for about 10 days. What most people don't understand is that it was not a cyber attack on the pipeline itself, but on the IT-driven billing system. Colonial didn't understand that without a secure billing system, they wouldn't be able to pump gas. They wouldn't want to from a business perspective because they couldn't get paid. Terrain AI would have helped them understand that relationship, saving them millions in lost income. But just like Colonial Pipeline, most businesses today don't know what business processes and supporting IT assets need to be prioritized for protection. It all looks the same to them. Deep Terrain, through the prism of business impact, clarifies what is critical and what needs to be secured first. To understand these relationships, you have to get senior executives, managers, and the IT team on the same page. Deep Terrain is the Rosetta Stone that brings that conversation together. I've just shared our vision for what our software is and how we are next generation cyber resilience. And now let's talk about the demand for our product. In the existing market, there is already huge and growing demand for cyber risk assessments, which is really the antecedent of how you get to what we're talking about and what we're driving. We are doing something new and different, though, due to our focus on business impact and automation. That's going to allow us to dominate a sizable share of the market. Right now, our point-in-time risk assessment allows us to be extremely competitive. Our next iteration will be a SaaS model that provides persistent, real-time cyber resilience monitoring. From there, we will grow our capability to proactively defend business processes and those supporting IT assets based upon the changing risk landscape. We are currently working on raising $1.5 million for our seed round. Our MVP is complete, but we need the money to finalize our commercially viable product for our charter customers and channel partners. We already have letters of intent from several of them, and they're waiting on us. We are going to use this $1.5 million to become a leader in industry-changing, AI-driven, proactive cyber resilience that keeps our clients ahead of tomorrow's cyber threats. We are pre-breach. We are left of boom. We are the root of real resilience. We are Deep Terrain. Please come talk to us in the breakout room. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ralph. So our next presenter is Justin Fong from Hugh Lens. And continue with the quotes. Helen Keller said the only thing worse than being blind is to be able to see, but with having no vision. And so many of us have tinted lenses that we've used for years. You can buy from either the drugstore or where else, but it just reduces the amount of light coming in. It doesn't really optimize for the particular use we need. So Hugh Lens has developed some technology that makes it possible to get very specific, high definition, highly detailed, color responsive lenses. And looking forward to Justin telling us all about it.
Hi there, everybody. Good morning. My name is Justin Fong. I'm the CEO of Hugh Lens, and I'm very glad to talk to you about the eyewear industry and the next generation of lenses. I bet that half of this audience here wears eyeglasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses on a regular basis. The optical industry is a large industry that loves to sell you the newest game-changing lenses that will somehow magically fix your golf game. But instead, what they're really selling you is a repackaged tint from a decade ago. Why are they doing this? It's because designing new lenses is a terribly manual, expensive, and trial and error process. Even when these companies spend the large dollars on development, the results are awfully similar to the lens products that you can get on the discount rack at Walmart. Our company, Hue Lens, uses AI to 10x the speed of inventing lens tints. The software simulates generating a new, unique lens tint and testing them on a human, and does this tens of millions of times over. The manual and trial and error method yields only a handful of options, where instead, using AI, we can look at every possible option that physics allows and hand select the best recipe, which is then made in real life. And the resulting lenses are powerfully vivid color resolution lenses. Customers often say their first reaction is, wow, this is like seeing the world through an Instagram filter. And customers love them because we develop these lenses and tailor them for all sorts of applications. For example, the color vision needs are different between elite shooting versus fun in the snow, and then also looking directly at a computer screen. With AI, we can magically and repeatably make the best lenses that customers have ever seen. Right now, Hue has over 500 proprietary SKUs and has sold over 500,000 pairs of Hue lenses around the world. Each of these is protected by a portfolio of 24 patents. Hue aims to dominate this $12 billion market by addressing more and more use cases and making them available in more and more eyewear formats. And here's what some customers are doing. Hue is a B2B player, so you can buy eyewear with Hue lenses from each of these brands. We manufacture and supply lenses to eyewear companies under exclusive long-term contracts. We fit into their supply chain and use a land and expand strategy, where year over year, we partner with those customers to design new tints for new use cases, add new lens formats, and then expand even into prescriptions. We started the company in 2018 trying to partner with Big Pharma. Once COVID hit, Big Pharma all changed their priorities, and so we had to make a big pivot and change our business model. So we developed a supply chain and launched our product in the middle of the pandemic. Since then, using a strong margin, low CapEx business model, we've been profitable since 2021. This year, we're ramping up a new sales team, and ramping up our marketing efforts. In seed rounds, we raised over $2.4 million in convertible notes from angel groups like the Princeton Alumni Angels. We're now out for a $3 million priced round, mostly to develop robust sales and marketing capacities and expand into adjacent markets. Dr. Keenan Valentine is the inventor of the AI and handles the tech side. I handle the commercial side. We're both Ivy educated and cut our teeth in Fortune 200 companies. Our core advisory team is a diverse mix of genders and ages and diverse experience within the optical industry. And by the way, we have a very robust tech pipeline with innovative optical technologies, which will be ready in succession from now. We're happy to share details on all of this in the breakout room. Thank you.
Great job, Justin. I'm waiting on my pickleball glasses, so
you got to send me your prescription.
Right, I will. Okay, so let's put up our first investor poll. This is for our first three companies. First one was Creative Biotherapeutics, Anita Davidson. Second, Deep Terrain, Ralph Heacock, and then Justin just now with Hue. This is for investors only. We're not going to share this with anybody, and it's we will make sure that the investors and the presenting companies are put together. Just as a reminder to everybody, when we're done with our 8th presenter, we have 8 presenters today, we will then open up the breakout rooms, and you can use the breakout rooms to go deeper and do Q&A. It's for our investors and our presenting companies to get to know each other. So, and also one final reminder, when you go into the breakout rooms, make sure you download the chat history and save it, and you can read it later, because once you go into the breakout rooms, there's a good chance you're going to, you might miss your entire chat history. So, last, I still see some poll results coming in, so we'll keep the poll open for a few more seconds. If anybody would like to be contacted by our presenting companies. Okay. Last call for any interested investors. Okay, why don't we end the poll and turn it back over to Mark, who will introduce our 4th presenter. Mark.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tian. So Peter Drucker said, whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. And that applies to our next presenter, Stephen Wang from Matterroom. And he's going to talk about how, for the legal profession and more professional service firms, replacing the standard, ubiquitous, Office 365 kind of Google Workspace options. Stephen?
Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you. So we have professional service firms who are facing billing problems constantly. They are always being disputed by their customers due to billing mistakes, and the accounting team always finds some recurring bills forgotten to be billed. This not only results in revenue loss, but more seriously, customers will lose confidence to the firm. For smaller firms or startups today, they are just not able to afford expensive practice management in the market today. So we built Matterroom, one platform to take care of everything. We store 100% data in one backend. As you can see, Matterroom has 4 apps: CRM, this is for legal, conflict search, crime, analytics. It takes care of billing. Okay. It takes care of time and billing, expense management, payment records, payment recording, general ledger, and profit distribution among equity partners. Our advanced technology also technology architecture also enables us to offer much lower total cost of ownership to our customers, as low as $19, which is 50% more or less than our competitors. It is also one backend system, so we are able to provide accurate and real-time analytics. Addressable market in 2030 is estimated at $15 billion, combining legal and general practice management. Our competitors on the left are mainly from North America and Europe. Matterroom uses the same container-based microservice architecture as Facebook, Twitter, and other social platforms. It uses most advanced programming and open source technology stack to ensure cost-effective outcome and scalability at a minimum cost. This is why the long-term customers of our competitors pick up for their new operations in Asia by saving 70% and more. Matterroom's largest customer is 2.5 times bigger than one unicorn SaaS competitor. We are much more scalable. Matterroom was built in Asia, so we have essential features built for this region. For example, multi-currency billing and expense management is one of the must-have features in Singapore. We are building our reseller networks. We just signed Computech in Tokyo. We have Smart Team Global in China. We are also signing the other 2 in Singapore and the US. We also have built strategic partnerships with other popular SaaS companies like Microsoft, Google, QuickBooks. So Matterroom is available in their marketplace for their users' adoption and co-work with their current solutions well. We also have been signing deals for big law firms' operations in Asia, winning against industry big names. Vivian and me have combined more than 50 years experience dedicated in building and selling enterprise software. We have 90% staff in R&D, and they're in Taipei, Taiwan. We don't have one single salespeople. Every employee has been with the company more than 3 years, and they are very proud to take the company to the next level. Financial-wise, 2021 to 2022, our ARR grows at 34%. We expect to close at 800K this year and continue the 100 plus momentum into 2025. Our major markets are in Asia. As you can see, we're growing into Japan, Singapore, India, and we're opening market in the US. We are fully bootstrapped, asking for 750K for patent filing, compliance, regular certifications, building channel management, customer success team, and attending global marketing events. Thank you for your time, and see you in the breakout room.
Thanks, Stephen. Great job. I'd now like to introduce Sarah Clasper, who will introduce our next 4 presenting companies, our final 4. Sarah is an associate with Next, powered by Schulman Rogers. Next is disrupting the way startup law is being performed with packaged offerings on a fixed price basis. They have an innovative new model for delivery of legal services for startups and emerging growth companies. And they offer predictable and reasonable legal fees through these packages. Last year, Next was selected by Law.com and Legal Week, both as the Startup Emerging Growth Law Firm of the Year, beating out several huge and well-known law firms. And in addition, earlier this year, Next was a finalist by Legal Times for their award as the most innovative law firm in the country. Congratulations and welcome, Sarah.
Thank you, Tien, and thank you, Skylar and Avery, and the rest of the team for a great event today. We're very honored to be a longtime sponsor and supporter of CONNECTpreneur, which is a leading global event connecting entrepreneurs, investors, and other members of the startup ecosystem. As Tien mentioned, Next, powered by Schulman Rogers, is an innovative new model for legal services. We help companies from their launch through every stage of their growth, and we designed our packages and services from an entrepreneur's perspective. What we do is we create predictable and reasonable legal fees by packaging our services into a fixed price model, so you'll know upfront how much to pay for certain legal services. And we have our clients work with senior attorneys throughout their experience, and we're very hands-on throughout the process. And we also have a robust technology platform so we can create client collaboration, efficiency, and transparency. The first company I have the honor of introducing today is NanoC. NanoC, as Carbon Architects, designs and manufactures engineered nanocarbon solutions to help address complex problems in a range of industries, including semiconductor manufacturing, solar panel output, and creating the next generation of batteries and electronics. Please welcome Victor Vagins, President and CEO of NanoC.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the Opus team. I am very much delighted to be here today. NanoC is an advanced materials company. We don't make the devices that are shown here, but our materials are critical and vital to the future of chip manufacturing, solar cells, EV batteries, and a range of other electronic devices. I have a very capable team addressing a $9 billion market powered by some incredible tailwinds. We have 20 customers today, writing approximately $14 million in supply agreements. As part of that, we've had to show our customers that we, in fact, have de-risked our technology, we've scaled up, and are ready to go. We are fortunate, of course, to be backed by some incredible investors, the most notable of which is Race Data, founder and chairman of Analog Devices. I have a talented team coming from Cabot, Merck EMD, Avery Dennison, E-Ink, along with an incredible amount of homegrown talent as well. This talented team can go the distance. While the application set is really quite broad, it comes down to being a very simple business. First, we can manufacture these materials at scale. Second, we can add value by customizing them to meet the needs of very specific applications. And third, we work in partnership with customers to be able to create the pull-through and lock ourselves in to their launches. What this creates is an incredible amount of leverage, both on people, intellectual property, and physical assets. The tailwinds for growth are longstanding, pushing the limits of Moore's law, combating climate change, and adding functionality with increased security. The fundamental challenge, of course, is that existing material solutions can't get there. The cost of chips on a silicon wafer have more than doubled in this last couple of years, and it's about to triple. Silicon solar cells, as an example, have reached their peak efficiency, and they're looking for more. And customers, of course, are demanding greater and greater security and added functionality. These are the challenges, the fundamental challenges that NanoC's materials can uniquely enable. In the chip industry, we're working with 3 of the largest chip makers today. We have been working also with ASML, the largest equipment supplier. They have shown that the materials that we provide the chip makers can, in fact, more than double production and output. That alone is a tremendous cost savings. We have 15 customers in the solar business. This includes silicon tandem PV manufacturers, the next generation of silicon-based solar cells, and in thin film PV. In the case of the former, in tandem PV, our materials can provide, along with our customers, 30 to 50% more power from the same area with no increase or very little increase in weight and no added installation cost. In the case of thin film PV, which is a remarkable new technology coming to market, we can provide transparency, very low weight, and they're efficient enough that they can be used to power the Internet of Things indoors. In batteries, this is a relatively recent development for us. We are in advanced engagement today with one of the leading tier 1 battery suppliers. This is a name that you would recognize. They have come to NanoC to work with us to provide more power, a longer cycle life, and faster charging. In this process of venturing and partnering with customers, we've created extremely high barriers to entry. We are exclusive or sole source in many of these developments. We have patents and trade secrets to back that up, and we've established a very high cost and risk to switch. All of that drives very high margins, 60 to 80% gross margin, 30 to 40% EBITDA, and an incredible leverage on capital, generating $2 to $5 of revenue per dollar of capital deployed. As we look ahead over the next 5 years, we're set for growth, and by 2028, we think we'll be running at a revenue rate of around $200 million a year. That, of course, is driven by the contracts we mentioned earlier. From the exit standpoint, which is what we're all interested in, we think we're on the pathway to do that in less than 3 years, based on the revenue forecast. And as we exit, we can be exiting at about 10 times revenue and about 20 times EBITDA, which again, going back to the $200 million of revenue and 80 million EBITDA, that is a tremendous exit and makes NanoC an extraordinary opportunity. I will look forward to seeing you in the breakout room. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victor. The next company I have the honor of introducing today is Osprey Bio. Osprey Bio is a DNA biotools company providing researchers with the powerful platform tools to create multi-target therapeutic candidates. This will enable us to tackle complex multi-gene diseases rather than single-gene diseases. And I look forward to hearing Sam Glickstein, co-founder and CEO, tell us more about it.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Sam Glickstein. I'm the CEO of Osprey Bio, where we create biotools to simplify complex biotherapy development in gene and cell therapy. So looking at therapies today, if you see what's in the clinic, this does not actually reflect what is killing people in the United States. This is because what's in the clinic is generally referred to as a single gene or single target therapy, which is good at curing a narrow set of single gene diseases, but not so good at treating, let alone curing, complex multi-gene diseases that cause most deaths. An example of this is Alzheimer's, where 6.7 million people are diagnosed, and of the 8 FDA-approved treatments, the best therapy only delays symptoms at a high cost, and inevitably everybody succumbs to the disease anyway. And the question is, so why are there no complex treatments out there in the clinic, and where are the multi-target therapies? And the unfortunate answer is that there simply aren't accessible multi-gene construction tools available for the broad research market. So that essentially means that most researchers are simply not working on these kinds of therapeutic candidates. So we at Osprey take that very seriously. And so we're introducing the Clone Card, which is the first accessible multi-gene construction tool that allows researchers to build multi-gene combos. This is a first of its kind tool on the market. where using a modular DNA construction system called Bird of Prey, researchers are able to swap genes in and out of what's called a vector backbone very simply, which results in a much faster and cheaper R&D cycle, as they're able to test multiple genes at once to see what works, what doesn't, in what different conditions. But most importantly, and I really need to emphasize this, is that this system does not require genetic engineering expertise to deploy. This is going to be available for all researchers in the gene and cell therapy research market. An example of what this can look like, using Alzheimer's again, we have a possible toolbox here of 3 different cards. These 24 genes would allow for thousands of new combinations and new possibilities, such as upregulating or downregulating genes at the same time, new effectors, modes, delivery systems, and even new promoters that would allow genes to be turned on and off at different times or different microenvironments in the neural cell, for example. This is the future of biotech. This is the only direction it can go, and this is how we can really start curing complex diseases. Looking at our competition, I'd just like to point out 3 main points, which is that, again, this does not require expertise to build, neither our cards or our system, our Bird of Prey system. All of our genes are competitively priced, and every single gene has that native Bird of Prey system built within it. We are pursuing the $28 billion United States Discovery Biotools market, specifically the $5 billion slice that comprises the gene and cell therapy portion. All of our potential customers are in research and development, so that includes a lot of academic and government institutions. We will be going as aggressively, however, towards the private sector, which conducts about 30% of all basic research in the country. Looking at our revenue, we see that between year 3 and 4, we start seeing a positive EBITDA as the industry continues to adopt desire for multi-target therapeutics, and as, again, single-target therapies continue hitting wall after wall in the clinic, as they simply cannot treat or cure complex diseases. We're seeking a $750,000 seed round convertible note, mainly to expand our product lines in the clone card libraries as well as other products, and execute an aggressive sales and marketing growth plan. Our management team has deep biotechnology experience. I'd like to point out specifically my CSO and co-founder, Dr. Thomas Reed, who is here with us today. He has built previously multi-target therapeutics that have gone through clinical trials. And he's actually also the inventor of the Bird of Prey and clone card systems, as well as point out my board, who have tremendous experience in biotools specifically, and we're privileged to have them on our team. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all in the breakout room.
Thank you so much, Sam. Great job. Let's put up our second investor poll right now. And again, this is for investors only, so no need to participate if you're not an investor. But our last 3 presenters were Matterroom, but Stephen Wang, NanoC, Victor Bajans, and Osprey Bio, Sam Glickstein. So this is a confidential poll. We will only share the results with our presenting companies, so this is not going to be published. Also as a reminder to everybody, we have 2 more presenters, and after our final presenter will do another investor poll, and then we will go right into breakout rooms. And we have 8 breakout rooms. We'll run them for about a half an hour. Each breakout room is hosted by one of our presenting companies. And again, you can do Q&A and go deeper with the presenters at that time. So again, we have Matterroom, which is affordable SaaS for professional services firms. We have NanoC, leading innovator and supplier of engineered nanocarbon solutions. And then the last presenter was Osprey Bio, providing biotools to make accessible and greatly simplify R&D of biotherapy development. Last call for interested investors. Okay, why don't we take down the poll and turn it back over to Sarah, who will introduce our final 2 presenters. Sarah.
All right. The next company I have the honor of introducing is Shoulders. Shoulders is an AI-driven platform that will make small business back office processes fully autonomous by performing tasks, integrating with other applications, managing processes, and enabling strategic planning. Please welcome Chris Simpkins, CEO and co-founder of Shoulders.
Hi, I'm Chris Simpkins and CEO and co-founder of Shoulders. I'm glad to be with you today. This is a picture of my life for the last 12 years. I've been CEO of a couple small businesses for the last 12 years. And while the best use of my time was customer, product, strategy, the reality is that my time was largely spent on back office and spending time in spreadsheets, also using really great small business tools that are out there that increasingly are leveraging AI and machine learning. But the reality is the amount of time I had to spend to actually use those tools, to create KPIs, to accumulate the information was pretty overwhelming at times. And I'm not alone. The data shows that 68% of CEOs' time in small businesses is spent purely on back office. The vision of Shoulders is to change that using an AI platform. And the thing that we are going to change, it's a fundamental alteration in how this will operate, is to make it fully autonomous, not just build another automated AI tool. With our platform, it will perform the tasks as if they are a user, either the CEO or CTO's time or outsourcing. The AI is advanced to the point where it can perform tasks, but also using generative AI, it can interact with the business owner to understand and learn the business, perform the tasks, and free up the time for higher order business operations. This automated versus autonomous is super important. There's a lot of talk about AI in the marketplace. And really what we've gone is from the manual side, and this is, use a car analogy. I'm driving and have my foot on the wheel, and AI is allowed for automation. That's cruise control, lane direction, and ultimately you Tesla drivers, you sit there without anything on the steering wheel. But that's not autonomous. Autonomous is where there's not the driver. And that's what Shoulders is going to do for the back office of small business. By doing that, we'll save the time of the entrepreneurs for more important tasks. We'll give better visibility, organization, ultimately a quality of life of small business owners, and we'll drive costs because the cost of our platform is dramatically lower than the people that have to use the applications. Lower complexity and actually lower human error. Autonomous is the new paradigm. And as we roll out our platform, our AI will learn what it looks like for small businesses to succeed. So we can bring the best of breed of models, revenue recognition, KPIs, and actually answer questions that entrepreneurs don't even know to ask. So why now? Industry is recognizing this is where we go. Just a few weeks ago, the CEO of Microsoft said that they plan to eliminate 30% of their employees to use AI for back office. And we're going to play in that space, specifically for small businesses. AI is advancing rapidly. ChatGPT is all the rage, but there are other advancements as well that make this possible today. We're a B2B SaaS. We're product-led. It'll be a monthly subscription, $20 per employee. So for a small business of one person, it's $20 a month. And for 20 people, it's $400 a month, which is dramatically lower than hiring people. It's a big, big market. And our initial target segment will be technology companies just like us who want to grow with investment. We know what they look like. And that serviceable market within the larger TAM is still $2.5 billion. There are a lot of competitors. The competitor is actually the people, but there are a lot of competitors out there. But the primary mode today is to do automation, not autonomous. We have a strong team. My co-founder, Joey McCord, who's on with us today, he and I have a lot of startup experience, and we have great AI advisors. We're raising a $1.1 million pre-seed round using a safe note with a cap, MVP in 6 months. Series A target in a year and a half. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Chris. And the last company today I have the pleasure of introducing is traveladvances.com. Traveladvances.com is the future of online travel, and as it is the first travel social media platform to incorporate AI. Please welcome Derek Cafferata, CEO and co-founder of traveladvances.com.
Thank you, Sarah. Good morning. My name is Derek Cafferata. And today I'm going to talk about traveladvances.com. Traveladvances.com is the first AI travel social media platform with Travel Now, Pay Later. Housekeeping. All our financial projections meet the provisions of our safe harbor statement. The opportunity According to Forbes, currently there are 4.9 billion people who use social media, with the average user having 8 accounts and spending 145 minutes per day on social media. In addition, there are over 10 million travel-related hashtags searched every week. And the buy now, pay later market is projected to reach over $3 trillion by 2030. The answer to this opportunity is traveladvances.com. Traveladvances.com is the first platform to incorporate travel and social media and has 4 vertical lines of business: Tommy Talk, Travel Mates, Travel 100, and Travel Now, Pay Later. Tommy Talk is a groundbreaking social media platform which includes Tommy, your first AI travel friend. Travel 100 features the top 100 breathtaking destinations in America. Travel Mates allows you to go on unique adventures with friends and travelers. And then finally, Travel Now, Pay Later allows you to plan your travel without having to worry about upfront payments. Travel Advances in concept test was viewed as best in class compared to other platforms. Again, best in class. Our growth roadmap is to target millennials. There are 1.7 billion millennials who represent 26% of the world's population. 60% travel alone, 58% travel with friends, and 40% will travel in the next 12 months. Our global travel market currently is $459 billion and is expected to grow to $1.8 trillion by 2028. That's a 25% annual compound growth rate. Our revenue model is generated from 4 lines of business: travel commissions, credit balances, membership fees, and advertising income. Our goal is to reach 88 million friends by 2028. To achieve this goal, we will spend over $600 million on advertising in 4 years. Currently, our TikTok account has over 2 million views and is growing quickly. Our team has a blend of youth and experience. The founders, William and Daniel, are attorneys, and Misa is a tech superstar. We will shortly be expanding our team to include a world-class chief marketing officer and a travel expert. Finally, our vision is to be the world's biggest online travel platform. We will launch by Q4 of 24, and we are seeking $29.6 million for a runway of 18 months. Over 70% of the funds will be used for advertising, IT, and partnership expenses. Our exit strategy is to list on the world's major exchanges by F29, and we project an EBITDA over $1 billion by 2028, which represents a 33 times return on investment. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the video, and we look forward to seeing you in the breakout room.
Made a map with all the stars, so you know you're not too far away from me. You're in light when it's my dark. I know this distance makes it hard for us to see. I've been waiting so long, I've been waiting so long, just to see you. I've been sleeping alone, I don't wanna let go. I can't forget you. I'll be waiting, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Derek. Let's put up our final poll, please. Great. So this is for investors only, and that would be for our last 2 presenters. We had Shoulders by Chris Simpkins and TravelAdvances.com by Derek. While the poll is running, if you guys go, you can feel free to download your chat history right now, because we're going to open up the breakout rooms momentarily. And once you go into breakout room, you will not be able to come back and get your chat history. So basically, that would be something we would advise. And remember, the breakout rooms will be open for about half an hour, 40 minutes maybe. And that's to give you an opportunity to talk to our presenting companies and their management teams directly. And also be sure to schedule a follow-up meeting with our presenters if you're an interested investor. So we'll keep the poll up for a few more seconds. Last call for polls here. We have Shoulders and we have traveladvance.com. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Why don't we take that poll down? We have one final poll. This is for our sponsors, and our sponsors are the ones who make our events possible, and they make them free. And again, if you already answered the first sponsor poll, which we did at the beginning of the event, no need to indicate as such here. But our sponsors are obviously in legal, accounting and tax, insurance, wealth management. If you want to be an ambassador, click there. We'll follow up with you. CONNECTpreneur ambassador. If you want to be a CONNECTpreneur sponsor, we'll send you information. If you're interested in presenting at a future Rocket Pitch event or one of our in-person events, please indicate as such. We do have an in-person event coming up on August 3rd in Rockville, Maryland. We also have an in-person event in DC, Washington, D.C. on September 21st in the morning. The event next Thursday is in the evening. So again, our team has been posting registration links for that, as well as our August Connect Tales cocktail party in Arlington, Virginia. And that's coming up soon. And Hank, our partner, has been posting in there too. And then lastly, we do private events for our private investor network. If you're interested in that, we can send you information. That's usually people are raising more than $1 million, and we can do an event to top off a round or to get you started. So anyway, with that, why don't we can take that down. We'll go ahead and open up the breakout rooms. So give me a second for that, and we will open up the breakout rooms. And again, you'll be able to enter and leave whichever breakout rooms you like. And after we close the breakout rooms, we'll come back and then we'll say goodbye. But in the meantime, thank you guys for joining us. Please follow up with if you're an investor, please follow up with our presenting companies. And we'll catch you in a few minutes. Thanks. Bye.